struggle. Here comes the danger, sent by the Savior. Welcome the Rasta youths. I and I start recruit soldiers for Selassie I am.
Mr. Dookoo.
Good night, good night.
Hey, boy. Like you get stuck in traffic or what? What happened there, boy?
Connection, boy, connection.
Oh, Lord, boy. Oh, Lord. Don't worry. We have something in the works. Next week is all going to be worked out. Right, brother?
Yeah, man. This is the last time we're going through all of this press. We're getting it sorted out by next week, man.
That's great. That's great. So special good evening to you, bro. How you doing? How you feeling?
Good, man. The cold gone. I just have a little crazy dry cough, but we're dealing with it, man. Everything is perfect. We're ready to jam them tonight.
Oh, God. It's jamming for sure. So, Darrel, so here's what. I know you. We're going to get into the stuff in just a little bit, but one of the things that we had talked about last week that I want to bring up because it's been going all over like crazy. You made a comment about... You made your comment about chutney soca music, you know, some of the lyrics and stuff that they have out there today. And we actually had a couple days later, the man who runs Chutney Soca Monarch, Mr. George Singh, actually put something about what going on with the lyrics today.
I mean, you know, I was really upset. I still am. I'm very upset about the level of our chutney soca music. The lyrics horrible, the music horrible, some of them fellas tone deaf.
I really don't know, boy. But it's exactly correct. A lot of the stuff that came out has been subpar. I guess we could word it that way, right? What do you say?
You saying it nice, Alan. But they're really singing shit.
Yes. Now, also remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is an adult program, you understand? So if you get offended by adult language and content, Darrel has something to tell you. Hashtag WUF, right, Darrel?
Yeah, man. What the fuck? This is for big people. So if you know you can't, let's pee and go and sleep.
There you go. So Darrel, any other things you want to say in regards to the chutney soca music?
No. I made it clear last week, Alan. I am upset about. The level of the music, how poor the level of the music is, and the lyrics horrible, and they make no sense. I mean, everything is about rum and horn and shortwood. It is disgusting. But what I am really upset about is that nobody at the level of, like, for instance, has been saying anything to raise the bar. And there you go, a couple days after, Mr. Singh made a statement. I think you have it there that you can read out first, right?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me just pull it back up. But yes, I do have the statement here because a lot of these people just can't wait for you to come on, bro. Jesus, real messages coming through. But I'm gonna pull up the message. Just give me 1 second, right, brother? Darrel.
Yeah, I'm here, man. Yeah. I ain't going nowhere.
But you could talk in the meantime while I'm pulling up the message.
Well, yeah, man. This is really It really upsetting, but I am so glad that Mr. Singh is making an effort to raise the bar, and this is going to change chutney music, because when they come with crap at the first level in his office, he is going to turn them back, as he is saying, and this is going to change of music, because these fellas will have to go back and rewrite music and come with better lyrics.
Okay, I have the statement in front of me, okay? And his statement had said, he posted this on Thursday. And it says, I never make a comment on song, but I am forced to say this after listening to a particular song yesterday, which was Wednesday. Lyrics worse than the first primary reader. Whoever wrote that song should be banned for life. The producer should be tied to a tree and bullwhipped. His studio closed by the Center for Disease Control. I've always get blamed for the nonsense out there, but I am not taking blame for this one. People, please do something about your lyrics and topics. Work for the money. Work for that money. That song should have never made it to the radio stations. Should never have even left the studio. What a disgrace. Hopefully I won't see that song anywhere near my office over the next few weeks. There is still time. Let's step up the game. Hashtag step up the game. Hashtag work for the money. Hashtag lyrics. Hashtag content.
That is excellent. we have in fact not we, but George Singh has an obligation to the nation. What is the first prize again? Is it how much million?
$2 million.
Exactly, and it's taxpayers' money, as somebody was saying to me today. Darrel, this is taxpayers' money. This is our money being wasted, I would say, on a first prize for people who sing about rum and bread. So it is excellent that Mr. Singh will actually take this out. Kudos to Mr. Singh, and I hope he holds to his word that when they come in with a mouthful of shit in his office, he will run them.
Now, do you think that has to be because it could be a possibility from this program?
Well, Alan boy, I get waves all over the place. I went to Trinity Mall. And I eat 2 bad doubles in True Value, and I was trying to get to a toilet. I nearly messed myself because people only hugging me up on the way to the toilet. They didn't realize the more they squeezed me, I could have messed myself.
Exactly, bro.
So we're getting popular. I don't know if it's because of if it is because of our show last week. But the word is being put out there, and if it's because of us, I would say, well, we're doing a great job, Alan. At least we wake up George Singh.
Exactly. I think that is a very good thing because this is what our music represents our culture. We have people like
oh, true, man.
We have people like Bunji Garlin working very hard. He made a huge impression in the U.S. market for recognizing Trinidad and Tobago. Not even Nicki Minaj, even though she's from Trinidad, you get that little disclaimer that she's from there. But Bunji took our music to a different level. He represents Trinidad and Tobago. Marshall last week just won, once again, another award. He won an award for Soul Train, you understand? The International Artist of the Year. So we are getting recognition. So chutney music, which is a huge staple of our people, you understand, is our next genre to try and make it over into that level. And these guys and them are doing madness.
Alan, again, as I will always say, we are all ambassadors for Trinidad and Tobago. Even you and I, when we come on a Tuesday, I am getting inbox messages. I don't know for you. I am getting inbox messages from people from Germany, London, apart from the States where we are at now, and people from Guyana and Trinidad, our home people. But I'm talking about people I got a text this morning from a man from Saudi Arabia that he wakes up at night to listen to us every Tuesday. We are ambassadors, whether we are talk show personalities, whatever we are, we represent our country, man, and we're supposed to do that.
Exactly. And let's do it with pride and some dignity, because, there might be that one song that gets that crossover. We want that. We want to see that happen. We have these guys in them that work. You don't hear, well, besides Benjai, who's a little crazy in the head, he came up with the Ebola song or whatever like that. But other than that, majority of the music in regards to soca music doesn't get this kind of bashing in regards to lyrics and stuff like that.
No, actually, I put up a song from Benjai on my wall this week that got me crazy.
Phenomenal!
Yeah, man, the music, I hope you have it and you could play it later on for the guys. But I listened to it over and over, and I found the music was nice, the lyrics was nice, and I said, listen, this is going to be something for next year. We haven't heard everybody, but what Benjai is doing. That big wood man he's really performing, man.
Yes, Benjai, he is a little bit out there and stuff like that, but really and truly, the Trinity song, he helps set the way for us to get a lot of exposure that way. But that phenomenal song is a big tune for this year.
Yeah, man, I love it. There's some things you listen to like that, and it makes you feel proud to be a Trinidadian, and that's one of the songs.
Great. So, Darrel, let me go through. There's a lot of messages and things like that, so I'm going to go through.
Ready, but we have started no bacchanal yet and no couture and thing.
I'm telling you, but everybody, they love you and stuff like that. Our chatting, your boys in them is on. Hillview Crew is on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they talk to me every night.
That's right. Amelia Budasingh, KVTV is locked on. They're on there. Everybody want to know where you was at. We have Jesse Raghu, Jivan Maharaj.
Why you... Is she stalking us or something?
No, I don't know, man. We gotta find out, right? We gotta ask her next time. She's gonna be.
She sounds like a stalker.
She's gonna be in studio on Saturday, so I'll get first-hand knowledge to ask about that. All right?
Oh, yes. It comes on with you on Saturday.
Yeah, 12 to 3. That's right. 1 to 4 Trinidad time, right? Shivan Mohammed says, "Oh yes, session turn up." Bradley Budu Singh, he's locked on. Jesse Raghuber Singh. Let's see. Jivan has, well, they're talking about the $2 million and stuff like that. Real people complaining that, look at what these people are doing with that kind of money. And let's see here. There was somebody had wrote something else. Jonathan Lau said, these soca stars representing, but where the chutney gone? Rum, horn, shortwood, hashtag WUF.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah. Oh,
there we go. So... Let's see. So, actually, we have a chutney artist is locked on. Miss Reshma Ramlal is locked on. She's from Trinidad.
Really?
Yes, she's actually locked on right now. We also have Darrel. DJ Imran out of the UK is locked on. And I'm going to start going into some of Christine is locked on from Diamond Village in Trinidad. Let's see. Well, your boy Saif just sent a message. He says, big up to Darrel and Alan. Big up to the Hillview crew. I have a question posed to you, Mr. Dookoo. What are your thoughts and comments on the lengthy duration the government takes to do a job in this country, such as fix a road or clean a drain? All right, how about that, Darrel?
The issue here is really the contractors. The government sees that something needs to be done, and the thing is, some of the contractors who are getting these contracts are not qualified enough, Alan, to get the job done. And so I have seen the example in my road where box drains are being built by people looking like seamstress. All right? A seamstress can't build box drain. If you see the wavy set a box drain up by me, you want to know, what the fuck is this, man?
Exactly.
And nothing is being done. There's no yardstick. There's no measuring stick. Nobody is coming and check the work that is being done. And say, okay, this is not being done right. We're not paying for this. Nothing like that is happening. People getting contracts, and whether they finish it or not, they're getting paid, and that shit needs to stop.
What do you think can be done? Is it like how?
As I said, there needs to be somebody who goes around and check these contracts. If we give you a contract to paint a building, Alan, somebody needs to come back and check the building and see if it's painted properly before we pay. Done. Because you would bribe the person who's supposed to come. They would take $10 and not bother come and write up a report and say Alan painted the building properly, and you would get paid. And obviously, we the citizens of Trinidad getting the raw deal all the time.
Well, Darrel, do you think it's just like how it used to be back in the old days over here in the U.S., curry favor kind of thing, Jewish people help out Jewish people.
Hey, long me hear that word, boy, curry favor. But that's so true. Flicking curry favor going on hands down here, and that needs to stop. But I don't want us to go down that road tonight. I want to deal with two important topics. I could break you up now?
Well, yeah, let's go. I know, well, hold on. Let me go through some of the people on the app sending messages and stuff like that, and then we're going to go into that. We girl Raquel Santa Cruz is locked on. Large up, Raquel. I know my boy Kelly, but Kelly's quiet tonight, man. Since you tell the man about the soup.
Kelly's the man who does buy soup and put it in bowl and take picture and say he make it.
Since you tell the man about soup, he gone. Let's see. We got Stacy Ann P says she panty shield on and ready to laugh. Ali G says Benjai is underrated. He's a wonderful writer. Though the Ebola song have to take a seat, we ain't playing that, right? Saddam S says, boom, Sadi is locked. Real Bacchanal up in the in the place. Tunt, Darrel, Allen, boom. Also, Ali G says, okay, so that means that the allotting of contracts are corrupt. The government are the guardians of the people, and they are paying money to the contractors that are not qualified for this kind of corruption.
True.
So I don't know what to tell you, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Well, nowadays over here in the States, they have to take in at least three quotes and stuff like that. It's not that anymore in regards to, like I had said, it might be a wrong word to say in regards to the description, but like I said, the curry favor kind of thing.
No, but that's normal practice here. 3 quotes, but then they plan it, Alan. They tell you they're giving you the contract, Alan, and they're gonna get a quote that's less than yours and one that's higher than yours, and you're in the middle, and they'll take you. It's a plan thing. That is why I always said I find it very strange that one person got a $700 billion contract to build that highway. Something is wrong. How can be one person getting this big contract? Why this couldn't be split between all the other contractors? Again, I want to raise my pressure, so I want to deal with topics tonight.
All right, so one of the topics that is international all over. It's not just Trinidad and whatnot. This is a global issue, and I know it's something that you want to discuss. Actually, my daughter is a victim of it as well, and I know a lot of kids, be it Guyana, Trinidad, Barbados, wherever it is in the U.S., bullying is something that you wanted to talk about, right, Darrel? So I'm going to let you have that.
You know what is the funniest thing, Alan, is that I said you know that. It's about a week now we plan what we say the following week.
Right.
And we spoke about this issue of bullying over the phone, and we said, okay, this is going to be one of the topics we will deal with on the show. And funny enough, today, the government had an emergency meeting with stakeholders, meaning Minister of National Security, Minister of Education, and so on, came together today to talk about violence in school and what they're going to do about the violence in school. It was just over the news. I was listening to the news before we just got in. And one of the measures that they have decided to take is by putting cameras in all the schools so that they can monitor what the arse is happening in the schools. Let's of how this hit home to me. And I am sure a lot of people listening to us tonight have the same kind of stories. I know, Alan, you have a story about your daughter as well.
Yes, I
do.
But
my son, this neighbor's child who lives a couple blocks from us here, this child will come home by me, Alan, and he's a very decent little boy. And he has been coming home, and he would order pizza, or I would order pizza, and they would lime. And when my mom is a just retired principal, and she would come, and if she put them there, she would take their book and pick them up in grammar or whatever. If they need help with mathematics or whatever, she helps them. This child is very pleasant. Everything is Uncle Darrel. Thank you, Uncle Darrel. No, thank you, Uncle Darrel. Very nice, very pleasant. Couple days ago, the teacher, bear in mind this child is in the same class with my child, and exams next year, very early next year, which would promote them into a secondary school. It's called the SEA exam. Anyway, so preparation is on for exams, and this child is in the same class with my son, both of them are around the same age, 10-ish. Alan, this boy took a knife to school and jack up another student. And I hit the roof. I was shocked because I can't believe this child, this quiet little boy who sits in my kitchen outside here and eat pizza in my house, would jack up another child with a knife. And the reason the teacher is telling me this is because my son limes with him. Remember, this child comes home by me. She, by association, is linking my child to this. You understand what I'm saying, right, Alan?
Yeah, I understand. It's insane.
And the thing is, I get real upset. I tell Annie, I say, look, I don't want this boy coming back in my house because I want to encourage David to do. But the truth is, when you find out the story behind the story, it's always have a couple of sides to a story, right?
Yes, correct.
This child is being bullied in school, Alan. He harassed by another student all the time, and he complains to the teacher and complains to other students, and he's been embarrassed and hit on and harassed by this other child that nobody is doing anything about it. So he probably tell himself, listen, I need to defend myself. I need to do something. So he took the knife to school. Now, this could have gone anywhere where he could have retaliated and took this child, and this would have been a criminal matter.
But it is a criminal matter. He already took a knife. I know if they do something like that over here, it's, there's no justification for that kind of stuff. We always see and hear real kind of things that go on, kids today, when you put their back, it's just like anything. When you put their backs against the wall, one day they're gonna snap. That's why we had, over here in the U.S., we had Columbine, the bombing and stuff like that. Kids go to school with guns and start shooting and whatever. Peer pressure is such a huge thing, and especially in regards to like maybe a year or two ago, social media caused a girl to want to kill herself, and I think somebody actually did kill themselves when pictures was all over and things like that. And it runs rampant. It runs rampant.
I mean, but what is scaring me, Alan? If it's older children, it's okay. My son is 10, Alan. I consider him a baby still. A 10-year-old walking in school with a knife. It is. What the fuck, man? It is scary to me. How could this happen? And when you look at, when you find out how they're dealing with it, I would think the principal will call both set of parents in. In fact, I would have called with their parents, Alan, and I would have wanted to sort this out with the guidance counselor. I would have called the police in, and we would have had to sit down and bring this out and find out what the hell is really going on. The 2 boys just get suspended for 2 weeks, and that was it.
Only 2 weeks? That's all they got?
Yeah, with no meeting, with no sense of security for the other parents of the other children who would think, well, this could happen to my child. I'm not seeing anything out of this to say, well, yes, okay, I am pleased that the principal has handled this in a proper manner.
But so no guidance counselor. I don't know what the school system. As far as
David told me, no, nothing has been done, and it's business as usual in the class.
Well, you see, that's madness, bro. I don't know what to say in regards to into that. And here's like over here in the States, right? That is something that they talk about it, but I don't really see it being addressed. Like I said, my daughter, she's a victim of it and stuff like that, being bullied. She's taller than everybody else, different and whatnot. The school's a very diverse school, and you always get somebody's always want to pick on somebody else. You understand? And this is the thing it's very sad in regards to that state. And I've constantly gone into school. You even see signs all over, report bullying, this, that, and the next thing, and whatnot. We do it. I'll meet with the counselors and them and whatnot, but zero happens. Nothing goes on from there. And it continues and stuff like that. So I don't know what it has to be done. I hate to say it, right? But if we was of lighter skin, then something would be addressed. But that's not going on.
You see, Alan, and I might not have friends for everything that I say, because I be frank on a video blog. When they can't take it, they delete themselves off my wall. But I don't give a fuck what I have to say. I say it, whether you like it or not. Whether if I get thrown out from the radio station or not, I will continue saying what I have to say. And I am telling you tonight, whether all the closed circuit cameras you want to put in the schools and all of that nonsense, the major problem comes from home, Alan. I did a video blog, which and I named it Separation Anxiety. For the people who looked at it, let me refresh you fast. I was saying that David has been sleeping in my bed since he came home. The night Anne-Marie came home with David, Alan, David cried the entire night, and Annie is weak. She couldn't lift him up. Annie's very petite, and David was a big baby. I used to take him and rock him until he fell asleep, and I would put him next to me in case he cries at night. Annie. So the only thing she would get up for is to breastfeed him, and eventually when he got onto bottles, I never used to wake up. I used to take care of him. I used to do his bathing. You remember, I have my own business. I could do my own hours, and I used to take care of him as a baby, and David grew up in my hands all the time. In fact, he is now 10, and David has been sleeping with me from a baby. I know it is to sleep with David, and you hug him up, and you're really sleeping, and you feel this warm sensation because the little mother has pee on me. I have gotten used to that. He's my child. I love him. And this idiot, after I put up this blog, an idiot, I have to call her a colossal jackass, would make a comment that when we sleep with our children, they become gay.
That's crazy. That is ridiculous.
Alan, I don't know if you sleep with your daughter, and I don't mean sleeping with your daughter. It is sick to even think any sexual thing with your children. I love my son all, and he sleeps in my bed and would hug me up, and I would wish that would happen until the boy get married. You know, of course, you know, he will eventually get big enough and I go want to sleep in my bed again. But, you know, I'm enjoying the fact that he sleeps with me. Last night, Alan, we had so much rain. And I am in my bed thinking how thankful am I to God that David and Annie and I are in one bed. And my point to you with all of that is if you show love from small, and you foster that proper relationship with your wife and your children, the fuckery that is happening now in the country would stop. But it's a lack of love, you know. If you see that child who brought the knife in school, Alan?
Yes, sir.
When you hear the story, the mother have 2-3 children with other people. You have to learn to close her legs, Alan. Alan, you need to learn to close your leg. You have that problem?
I don't have that problem.
Oh, you're all right, good. Well, some people need to learn to close their leg and mind what you have already made. If you want to consider it a mistake, I mean, children are not mistakes, but if you know you're already in this situation, oh God, try and do what you're supposed to do and be a good parent. The issue here, Alan, is that we are not being good parents and we expecting the teachers to parent our children. That can't happen. They're only the teachers. They're supposed to just guide them with the curriculum. You are a failure as a parent. We're not doing what we're supposed to do. Hence all the nonsense happening in our country. And just now we get like the states now. Wait, you know, we like to follow the states with everything. Somebody, one of them will try and go walk in school with a daddy gun and shoot everybody, just like in the states.
Well, and this is what, and I agree, family values play such a huge importance, right? I was born and I was raised in New York, you understand? My parents are from Trinidad, and that was, bro, let me tell you, up to the age of 12 years old, I couldn't ride my bike outside of my yard, you understand? Outside of my house. But every Thursday, every Sunday, we'll go in temple and things like that. You know, my dad was a strict person, but he loved us very much. You know, my mom, anything you want, your mom is there, right? But this is what, and we always had that love and support. Up to this day, I am 39 years of age, right? And when I go to New York and I see my parents, or I kiss my dad in public, I'll hug my dad, even though I tower over him and stuff like that. But you learn and you grow up with that kind of affection and.
That's what I'm saying. That's true. That's right, Alan. The love and the respect is there until you die, and you consider him. In fact, he can buff you whether he's 100 and you're 90. And you tell yourself you're an old man, he can buff you and you'll still take the buff because of the love and respect you have for your parents. Let me give you a quick example of how scary this is. The child has been liming, or if you want to call it a play date, as those white people say, in my house. And I came home from the office a day and I pull Anne-Marie in a corner and say, Annie, you know this child? She said, yeah, man, he's in David's class. I said, did you call his mom? No. I said, baby, you need to call his mom. The mother needs to know that he is in this house liming with David. First night pass, couple nights after, he come again. We order pizza, he lime. Very pleasant child, mind you, eh? But I said, but Annie, this woman don't know. You need to call her. Anne-Marie jumped in her car and went a couple blocks behind our house and found the mother, who didn't know, Alan, who did not know that her son is coming across by me. And I live on the main road, which is a very busy main road. So he's coming up all those secondary blocks and riding his bike on the main road and getting to my house. You don't know where the fuck is? What the hell is that? You don't know where your child is? Alan, anywhere David going, I need to know. And who David is going by. In fact, I afraid this play date crap, eh? I don't send David out unless we know the person really good. And I have to call you when David is going there. And you have to call me when David is coming back. In fact, we drop David, or I drop David, Annie drop David, or whoever is coming to pick up David, they would have to come for him. I don't just send my child. My child goes straight out of my fucking yard just so, you know.
Exactly.
Play them games, you know.
Mm-hmm. No, but this is same thing. I don't send my daughter any and everywhere and stuff like that. And I don't know about other people, but and it's true. The American people, and this is where you hear a lot of this madness stuff that's go on in regards to they don't they don't be parents with their children where, you know, they just want to drop and pick up and all this kind of madness and stuff like that, right? And you hear, you know, because let me tell you, if I hear that anybody molests my child, if I hear that kind of stuff goes on, I killing somebody. You understand?
Is he?
This is what it's craziness. You know, yes, there is some sick people out there, but you cannot put your children in the situations, you know, for these kind of things to happen.
But that's the same thing I am saying. What if, Alan, I'm a pedophile? I like little boys. You're sending your child to play. You don't know where your child is. I could have raped this child several times every time he come across here. You understand what I'm trying to say, Alan?
Yes, I understand.
So you as a mother don't know where your child is? We slack. And, you know, for a big minister of education, Tim Gopi Singh is saying on news tonight that he doesn't see that we have a problem with violence in our schools and the children are behaving. So if the fucking children behaving, why you call an emergency meeting to talk about school violence? And why are you putting CV cameras in all the schools? Are we asses?
Okay, so now they're going to be putting cameras. So they want to do that, but they don't want to address the issue. Is that what you're saying, bro?
What I'm saying is that you need to admit we have a problem. If you're an alcoholic, Alan, before I can put you in AA and help you, you have to say, Darrel, me, Alan Gopi, I am an alcoholic and I need help. What Tim Gopi Singh needs to say as Minister of Education, Trinidad and Tobago, we need help with the children. Parents, come forward. We need help. We have an issue here. We do not have the answer. We do not know how to deal with these children. Come forward with your ideas. Let's work together. Parents, uncles, and family, tanti, grandma, everybody, and ministry, and teachers. Let's come together as a big family and sort this problem out. Don't lie and say, well, we don't have a problem.
Well, do you think...
Hell, you have a problem because you want to put cameras in the school. If you want to put cameras in the school, Alan, it's because we have a fucking problem.
Well, I agree. There's something that's going on. You know, you don't put... Well, okay, like in New York and stuff like that, when they had kids coming with guns and this and that, the next thing, then they started putting, you know, metal detectors and things like that. So if you if you're doing that kind of stuff, you know, it's blatantly clear in regards to what's going on. You know, but you need to say something. This is this passive aggressive kind of stuff is just madness. You can't keep doing that.
We have to handle the problem head on, and if we're not doing that, and it doesn't make sense we pussyfoot around it. Do something or don't.
Right, exactly. But what do you think can be done, Darrel? What's your take?
The problem is we need to get parents more involved with their children. Today, I was at Vishma's office, and we were talking about the same issue. And she said, Darrel, parents not getting involved because parents never are wrong. And I had to totally agree with her. Alan, we want to live this big American life where we own 2 brand new cars and we have a huge house. We do Caribbean trips over the summer, just as us here. We want to own 2 new cars and we want to own a big house and we want to go to the States for summer every year. But those things cost. You have to take mortgages, we're paying for everything. So in the old days, Alan, I don't know, if you could remember, mothers never worked.
Right.
Mothers were home, taking care of the children, make sure they bathe and dress them and send them to school. And when they come home in the evening, as poor as it is, hot rice and dal and something waiting for you.
Right, lunch was ready.
Right? And man, them couldn't read, my grandparents couldn't read, but they make sure that they both you had to do your homework and that kind of thing, and they're supporting you. The lifestyle was poor, but we had morals and values, and the family looked out for one another. But now, Alan, because we want to own 2 new cars and we want to have a very nice big house, all of that, the wife have to go out to work, and we're fighting to pay for stuff that we can't afford. And on top of that, who you think really getting neglect? Is it children? When you get up and you have to leave to go to work in the morning early, and that child have to dress himself and feed himself and get to school and then come home and he's by himself until you get home 3-4 hours after. What do you expect happening?
But you see, unfortunately, we live in a world now that it's rough, boy. You know, you need that. People need that second income. It's not just about the nice car or whatever. But Darrel, you know, especially in the States here, education is very, very expensive. You know, housing, all that kind of stuff, and clothes today. Also, you want to give the kids the things that you don't have, like now with iPods and tablets and this and that and cell phones and whatever, you want to provide for what you didn't have. You want your kids to have, right? And then you hope for the best, where you give them all the tools necessary for a good education, for them to get a good job, and hopefully not have to work as hard as we work now, right?
Alan, I totally agree with what you're saying. Yes, I mean, there are things that I never had at the age of 10 that I look at David and I laugh, because, I mean, we could have never in our life imagined to have the kind of things that I see David gets. But at what cost? At what cost are we going to provide this to our children? In the States, I understand it's hard. In Trinidad, it's free education. What I'm saying, Alan, is that I understand that we have to work, and I know that both parents need to work. But I think we need to pay attention to our children a little more. Whether we take this Saturday, all right, for instance, in my case, I was telling somebody today, I take Saturdays day with David and Anne-Marie. I don't dictate where we go. When I get up, I say, where do you guys want to go? Last week I had a client to go to in Princess Song. They went along for the drive. From there we went to the mall and that kind of thing, and then got home. What are you doing to make your children or foster a closer relationship with your children? Whether it be when you come home in the evening and you watch one TV show with your child together, or you all lie down in the bed together and talk some stupidness before you go to sleep. Build that relationship where your child could come and tell you anything.
Well, Darrel, but exactly, right? Do you think, so I just received a comment here that they believe that some people in Trinidad have lost their sense of family now. What do you think in regards to a statement like that?
But that's exactly what I call in with you for, Alan. We have lost that. We have lost that, and we're expecting the teachers to bring that sense of love and train. We want the teachers to train our children. We can't expect that, Alan. Most of the people who teach now in Trinidad, I'm sorry to say, are bouncing on teachers tonight. But most of the people who teach in, Alan, are people who couldn't get jobs anywhere else. So you go to university, you come out with a degree. You can't find nothing else to do. Ministry of Education hiring teachers at $10,000 a month. Bam, you're falling as a teacher. Another thing is, most of the people who teach in are not married. And if they're married, they don't have children. This is a young generation of teachers we have now. These young teachers with degrees. Of course, they're educated, but they don't know how to deal with children, Alan. Before we had David, I was a very ignorant person to children. I didn't have patience with children. So if I find you fussing too much, that's like a little cousin or so. I'm walking through the mall and you have this little baby crying all the time. I would be irritated because I don't understand what it is to have a child and how to deal with children. We have David. I would think totally different now when I see somebody's child crying or somebody's child throwing a tantrum in the grocery. You would think differently. You know how to handle a situation like that because you've been through that now. Them teachers teaching and don't have any experience. They don't know what it is to make their own children yet. So they don't know what it is to be a father or mother and how to deal with a child. We have an issue. In our days, Alan, you remember the kind of teachers we had, man. We had people that seasoned and love children and would discipline you. And some of them we hate. And when you grow up big and you have your education, you have a good job, and you look back at what they have done for you, the love for them is unbelievable because you know those people really cared. I am not seeing that in the system now. And parents throwing their children into a school early, like for instance, school starts at 8 for your child in the school from 6 in the morning because you have to go to work. And we expecting the teachers to parent our children, which is not their job.
Exactly. It's not their job.
Tonight, oh God.
Darrel, here's what. Let me go to the shout outs and stuff like that. I know you made a joke about Miss Budu Singh earlier, and but she's a friend of yours. That's the reason why he made that joke. He doesn't think she's an
don't take it personally, people. She's my friend.
Yeah,
I will be the best man in that wedding.
Yeah, some people, they're writing all kinds. But yes, Darrel and Miss Budu Singh is very, very good friends. So it was just a little slack talk between the two of them. That's that. Once again, this is an adult content.
Don't meddle in that.
Yeah, so people don't get tied up in them kind of thing, right? Also, people, this is an adult program. Once again, please make sure this is adult content. We don't mean to offend anyone with certain languages and stuff like that, but it is put out there. This is an adult content program. So large up, once again, Darrel Dookoo, that's speaking to us from Trinidad. So Darrel, here's what. Let's see here. Boy, real people have things to say, what they want to say. In regards to that, Ali G says, the ministry is being run by fools, so the manners in which issues are being handled leaves much to be desired. Only murder will get a reaction. Rashida A says, hey, Darrel, this is Ratio. Our Pooch crew is locked on. Ali G also says, Darrel, people having more children than they have patience for or could mind, so the kids lost looking for love and acceptance. Closed their damn legs. Devon D said, this government thinks that the citizens are fools, right? Also, we have Michelle Lake out of Pennsylvania. She says my 9 and 7-year-olds still sleep in the bed with me and trust in no one of them will be gay. Some people will never understand the love parents have for their kids. Also, for the bullying, I've always told my kids, tell someone at school if they do not do anything and the people continue to harass them. Bust their ass and then I'll handle it. That's what Michelle says. So she agrees with you. And that they are not going to your house, your children not coming to mine. So you're right. She agrees with that kind of thing. The best way to watch over your kids is, to parent them, Your boy Kelly Balgovan says, I think nowadays police presence is needed in school. We have to be some parents or waste of time security officers are not equipped enough now to handle these troubled kids now. What do you think in regards to that about police presence in the school? Do you think security and so forth?
Listen, I'm not going to call the name of the school that Annie teaches, but on a regular basis, the police has to be there because the children are always fighting. And the children are so violent, they're attacking teachers now. And of course, you as a teacher, you can't defend yourself because if you defend yourself and lash child, you lose your job.
Exactly.
No questions asked. So it has reached... But yes, I totally agree with Kelly. Apart from having school security, and MTS ain't even have a gun, they can't do nothing. They have a little piece of wood, apart from their own wood, they have an extra piece of wood to beat off any bandits and that kind of thing. But that is not adequate enough. The children know that MTS is joke police. They afraid them. For the people who don't know who MTS is, that's a private security firm that is at all the schools. So, and we have different firms, security firms that man the security for the schools. But what Kelly is saying, Alan, and I totally agree with him. I think we're reaching the point where we have to get a little bit, we need to be drastic and probably put a policeman per school.
But do you think that's going to do anything? Because you see, here's the thing, right? Over here, they have security guards and stuff like that, but some of them, they just look at it as an easy way to make money. You understand? They sit on the backside, they get paid, they don't do nothing.
A lucrative contract to own a security firm and you get a couple of schools to take care of. But they're just thinking property-wise, they're not thinking children-wise. They're protecting property, Alan, they're not protecting the children. So we're talking about having, getting the police in. Or you see, the thing is, they've been trying by putting deans in the school and putting guidance officers. And I don't think that's working.
Yeah, well, I don't see it working. Like I said, I see it constantly going on, right? And I don't see that it's working. The whole thing is the fact that I agree if somebody's doing it, right, and you bring it to the attention, is you need to get the parents of the kid who is bullying the next one, right? And you have to have face to face, have discussions, put them in counseling or whatever like that, because same thing. People don't realize words is very hurtful in what you say and your actions and whatnot. And kids today, some kids, you don't know what the next child's going through in the house and thing like that. And we don't want to see nobody snap. I don't want to see that happen. It's ridiculous,
You see again, Alan, it all stems to what's happening at home. In the old days, Alan, if you get a girl pregnant, when you were in Trinidad and you were younger, and you get a girl pregnant, and you go home and you say, Ma, Amelia is pregnant for me. What you would have had to do, and what they insist, you had to go and ask Amelia to get married,
Right, yes.
Know that. And you had to take the responsibility. They don't want to hear that you didn't like Amelia and it was just sex, you know. They don't want to hear that, you know. Ma say you get a girl pregnant, you have to marry the girl and mind she child. So you had to take responsibility for your actions in the old days. So you get a girl pregnant, you had to marry she whether you like she or not and mind the child. But nowadays, you get a girl pregnant and you ain't like she and it was just sex, is alright. Whether you mind it or not, it's okay. Grandparents is mind it, and if grandparents are mind it, somebody go mind it, you just say, okay, and you move on. So when it's so easy to make children, everybody opening the leg.
Well, you said close it, right? Close pins.
Close it, man. Close your leg.
Close your legs.
I'm talking about men too, eh? Men close your leg, and in some case, men need to close their backside too.
There you go. Hold on. So here's what we got. Some more things are coming true, right? Ali G says Trinidad have too many barrel babies. Many people leaving their children to go abroad. Many don't return, and the children who are being raised by family members, they see the kids as cash cows. Those who are with the kids really want to live like they're in the U.S. and killing themselves to essentially kill themselves and neglecting their kids. Stacey Ann P says, nice topic. Trinidad S says he could beat up half them MTS, is what he's saying right now. Let's see, I have Sharon Laura says she had made some comments also. Let's see what she had said. She says she agrees with him. Nowadays, everyone wants to be Americanized and stop showing kids the love they're supposed to get. She's 38 years old and she still hugs up to her mom and sleep. And she's married with 2 kids. Her kids don't go on play dates, and you know how you have to make $100,000 or more in order to live in New York and things like that. And she wants to know, what's your take? Do you believe in spanking your child if they get out of control? What's your take on that?
Alan, we stopped beating children in school ages ago. 2 mistakes that they've made in Trinidad. I can't talk for the state. I mean, Alan, you could help me out there because I mean you live in the system. But in Trinidad, they don't beat. I have instilled the kind of death fear in David that I stopped beating David. Once David sees my face, he will start to cry one time because he knows that death is imminent. So he don't try no crap with me. We have stopped beating children in school, and people say, "Oh, that is criminal," you know, that we beating children, and that's so barbaric and that kind of nonsense. But that has stopped a lot of the crap in our generation from happening. We don't beat children, that's one. And another thing is, when our now Prime Minister was Minister of Education a couple of years ago, they revamped the system where they closed down vocational schools and secondary schools and all that and made everything to 5 years. They changed 11 plus exam to the SCA program that they have now, and they've made provisions where if they find you're not doing good in a year, they would hold you back, Alan. So when they hold you back in standard 2 or standard 3 because you're done, so you didn't meet the requirements, and they send you up. They reach secondary school level, you have 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds now writing the CXC exam. And an 18-year-old and a 19-year-old is an adult, a young adult. Right. And they feel at that age that you can't correct them. So when you have 4 small teachers like Anne-Marie trying to tell them, don't do this and don't do that, they don't want to listen to Anne-Marie. They're big, they're 18, they're 19, in school clothes still. They don't want you to correct them, and that's part of the problem. We allow them to get adult in the system, which that should have never happened. And the thing is, we only do in academics. We've done away mostly with the vocational schools. Not everybody, Alan, could take books. Some of us could be good barbers, seamstress, hairdressers, nail tech. Oh God, electricians, woodwork people. Put the children into stuff that who are not able with the academics. Put them into stuff that when they do come out of school, they have to eat.
Correct, bro. Correct. Now, I got a couple more shout-outs and things like that that are coming through. We got Nigel from Curup says, it has been like a recent shockwave of bullying spreading around my school like Ebola in Africa. There's an individual who is in cahoots with authority, bullying the children. How are we supposed to stop injustice when justice is on the same side? Hashtag WUF. So that's Nigel's take on that. Also, we got to say special good evening going out to Blossy Marley in the UK that's locked on. and saying that, preach it, Darrel, preach it. Let's see, Darrel. I have Christine again from Diamond Village says, agree with Darrel. Parents need to spend time with their kids. We are children mentors. Why they see their parents, they will do as well. When I drop our children, my son to school, there is rules before he comes out of the car. No fighting, no shouting at anyone. He has to stay with his rules before he jump out the car. So do you think stuff like that helps?
I think once parents set ground rules at home and extend it into the lives out of the home, meaning school and in the playground and wherever else children go, it helps. It helps keep them in line. And once they know you're firm as a parent and they know they will get licked or they will be scolded in some way, they need to follow the rules. I mean, you have the few that turn beasts when the parents are watching, but generally, if you as a parent set your rules and pay attention, how many parents listening to me today, when last have you just randomly gone through your children's things? I mean, you might say that is a violation of space, Alan, but when last did you go through your child's school bag or randomly play drugs? Those are the things that you need to do as parents. Don't wait for them to be a cocaine addict and oh God, my child on drugs, right. When you could have nip it from the bud, My point is you need to parent. If you have a child, you need to be a parent, not just bullying. Bullying is not part of it. Bullying is the nice part. The 5 minutes that you take the break, it's very sweet. When that is done, Alan, you have a lifetime of parenting.
Right.
It's more parenting than bullying.
Exactly. And speaking of bullying, we got to large up your girl. Platinum Entertainment is locked on. Ms. Vishma is locked on. Who's a big time bully, right?
Right. She is. I mean, if you meet her, she looks like a bull,
All right. So we got to large up. Sherry's locked on in Jersey. She says, tell Darrel I said hi and thank you for being a part of the show. She says to kick ass and kick it high. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, coming up at the top of the hour is, the Prince. Gallus Prince is coming up at 9 o'clock. Darrel, we only got a few more minutes left. The show time is almost gone. So let me just, let's see here. Sharon sends another message. Sharon Laura says, I agree, parents need to spend time with their children, but in America, everyone have to hustle to pay bills and trying to survive. Our kids don't get the kind of love they're supposed to.
That,
And
Alan, let me ask you, you are single parent, right?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And you hustle. I mean, there are sometimes I hear you I get up to pee in the night and hear you on the radio at night. So I know that you're a hard worker. How do you balance that with your daughter?
Well, you see, this is the thing, right? And it is hard. It's very, very hard. I have, my schedule revolves around my daughter, right? My daughter goes to school. I drop her to school. I pick her up. She's 14 years of age. And, her whole life, it's always been that. Like I said, recently divorced. So now for the past year, and so I do it myself. Drop her off, pick her up, and things like that. I have very good support in regards to, as you guys know, Miss Budu Singh is a very good supportive role model for her, and is a phenomenal woman that's that's a part of our life that helps out a lot, even though she's in Tampa. But the thing is, 99% of the stuff I do in regards to the mother, father, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, all of that, right? And we live in a day and age over here where I am not going to put my daughter in a situation for, as you said, bullying. Well, the bullying part I can't get away from, but, pedophiles that are out there, this, that, and the next thing. My daughter is, I let her, she has her tablet, all these kind of things, but it's not easy. It's very hard. And, you got to do the things that you got to do. At one time, I was working 3 jobs, 3 jobs in order to be able to maintain for her. In the middle of the night, come home in the morning, drop her, go to work, this, that. I would get 2-3 hours of sleep. And it's a hard thing, and you got to do what you got to do. But, I'm not making it as an excuse or let people look at me like that. But for my child, I will make the sacrifices that I need to. I look like this. I have done my life already. And in order for my child to have the life that I want her to have, I got to do these sacrifices now. Her job is one thing only, which is, I'm very blessed. She's a phenomenal child. I don't have no problems and no headaches with her. She's an honors student. She's in an accelerated program and things like that. And in order for that to maintain, I have to do the things necessary to do, right?
Alan, I must commend you because most men walk out of a relationship, like in your case where it didn't work out, and you turn your back on your child, and you think that because you pay what we laugh and call cock tax in Trinidad, of course, you take care of your children monthly via the court and whatever. Men feel that, well, that's it. Well, but I mind my child, you know. Every month I just drop money in the Alan, that's not it. That's not parenting. Putting money in an account is not parenting. And so I commend you, Alan, because I, without being a friend to you, I look on your wall and I see the days that you put up your food. Granted, some of the things that you put up I wouldn't eat. It don't look edible. But I see that poor child is be eating it. So it had to be daddy cooking, and she seems to probably have acquired a taste for whatever they ask you to be cooking.
No, she liked it. But Darrel, here's what, right? She made the choice to want to live with me. Her mom relocated to New York and stuff like that, and she said she didn't want to go, right? Like I said, I will do what necessary for me to do in regards to my child. And you might not like some. Yeah, last night I made something very fun, right? She wanted spaghetti, and
I don't know what the ass that was that you put up.
That was spaghetti with turkey meat sauce with a fry egg on top and stuffed clams. You know, so I don't make joke. You know, I don't mix matters.
You feel you is Trevor says you want to give everybody.
No, not like that. But here's what, you know, unfortunately our time has gone, Darrel. You know, we're coming up to the 9 o'clock hour and things like that. But any final words you want to say before I let you go, bro?
After all that has been said and done, and you realize tonight I was very upset and I quarrel a lot. You have to understand that I am passionate about my child, and I'm passionate about the crap that is happening in our country. And it all stems to not having a proper family life. And I'm asking parents worldwide, you people who have been listening, Alan and I, take example by Alan and take example by me, and try, men, be good fathers, and mothers, try and be better mothers and better wives, and guys, better husbands, and pull your family together and try and communicate and try. All we asking, Alan, is to try. You know, nobody says you're going to be perfect. I'm not perfect. And I'm sure you're not perfect, Alan. You're
I'm not.
Indian man. But you try to be the best father you know how. I mean, and I think that your daughter is going to appreciate that, knowing the sacrifices you make. I do the same. I tried my best. And all I'm asking everybody who is listening to us tonight, try. We're not asking you to be perfect, but we're asking you to try.
Exactly. And you know what? Sharon just sent another statement, but we're going to get to that next week. Like I said, we're sorry that we ran out of time, but one of the statements I want to make in regards to that, Darrel, like I said, you know, we live in a world where divorce rate is very high and things like that. And yes, being a father is not exactly just dropping off money. Spend time, communicate with your kids. You know, the days and weekends you're supposed to spend with your child, do it. You understand? Do it, because those are the things that matter. Because when they have their own family and they forget you and stuff like that, what are you going to do, right? You can't complain then.
Yeah.
You can't complain then. So, Darrel, bro, we're getting ready for Gallus Prince. Don't forget, next week, Tuesday, right here. You know, here's a topic for next week. You know, Sharon was talking about teenage pregnancy. We could deal with that next week. The time has really gone. You know, Darrel, on behalf of Radio Guy International, we thank you very much for taking the time. We got Bud Sook there that's locked on. He said, wonderful program. Like I said, Reshma Ramlal is locked on in Trinidad. Darrel, anything else you want to say, brother?
As usual, I want to thank everybody for their support. Continue supporting us. Thank you, Radio Guyana, for allowing me to say it as I see it and how I feel. This is the only radio station that allows anybody to actually say what they feel. This is wonderful, man. Alan, thank you again for making this possible week after week to allow us to air the views and what's really happening in Trinidad and in our society. Thank you, everybody, again, and I'm looking forward to next week to mash it up again.
Not a problem. So here's how I'm going to drop Darrel's song, right? Radio Guy International. Don't go nowhere, don't go nowhere. Gallus Prince coming up next. Don't forget, every Tuesday, join the fan page so you know what's going on. Yo, we feel phenomenal, right, Darrel? Radio Guy International, we gone. Gallus Prince.
Hours. No. Soca just give me powers. Yeah, drink me rum and share with others. Fit for hours. Soca powers. It's a wonderful what the people say. Once the music hit my veins, so much powers I can't explain. Until that golden day when the Father take me away. All of my friends will say, I'm phenomenal. I'm phenomenal. We're phenomenal. I'm phenomenal. I'm phenomenal. We're phenomenal. We're phenomenal. Yeah, yeah. Soca just give me powers. Yeah, turn me into masqueraders.